What is up YouTube, Team Judgment here, and this is our take on Batteryman for July 2014 format. Before the release of Batteryman 9V and Duelist Alliance, this deck was decent at best. However, this card being released has pushed this deck over the top, and I believe this deck will eventually topple YCSO Regional because it's that good. Somebody will come up with a variant of Batteryman, for example like Batteryman Honda or Batteryman Artifacts that will actually be decent enough to top a major event. So Batteryman, right now, I'm calling it, Batteryman are going to be tier something someday in the near future. So let's begin. Triple Batteryman 9V. This card is just insane. It's not even when it's normal summoned, it's when this card is summoned, so you can special summon it off a Microcell and still get an additional search. So that makes Microcell an inherent +2, which is really good. So when this card is summoned, you can add one Batteryman monster from your deck to your hand, and if you do, this card's attack and defense become double. So having a 2k beater on the field is just really decent, and it helps with OTK potential and OTK pushes, because 2k for level 4 isn't low at all. So it definitely does help having a 2k. The only downside to this card is you can only activate its effect once per turn, so adding the search effect only once per turn, and also you have to destroy it during the end phase, which isn't too bad because you have ways of recycling it. So this is the best card in the deck, hands down. Next up, Triple Batteryman Microcell. This card, you set him, her, I don't know, you set him, and then when he's flip face up, it's a flip effect, you get special summon one level 4 lower Batteryman monster from your deck. And the ability just to special summon from deck is insane. And not only that, when it's destroyed by battle and sent to a graveyard, you get to draw an extra card, so it's already a +1. So you're not minusing with this card at all, even if you just set it. You can go +3 in some scenarios with Batteryman 9V. So this combo is really good. And your opponent will instinctively think it's a hand set or like a Gigiarma or something. The last thing they'll expect is a Batteryman Microcell. But if this deck does gain popularity, people will be preparing for Batteryman and they will know what to do. So right now, the surprise factor really does help the deck. Next up, this is your rank 4 spam card. It's Batteryman AAA. His effect states that when he's normal summoned or flip face up, you can special summon one Batteryman AAA from your hand or graveyard. Quite similar to Gigiano Mark II. So having one of these two of these in hand, or one in hand or one in graveyard, is really good. It's an instant rank 4, and the only downside is 0 attack and 0 defense. It gives it a sole purpose as being an XYZ material, because it has no field dominance because of the no attack and no defense, so it doesn't help with OTKs at all. However, you can go into good rank 4s quite easily with that card. Next up, the undisputed boss monster of the deck. Double Batteryman Industrial Strength. This card is just really good. The summoning condition is that it can't be normal summoned or set. You have to special summon it by banishing 2 Batteryman monster from your graveyard. After that, you can banish once per turn. You can banish one Thunder type monster from your graveyard to destroy one monster and one spell or trap card in the field. So just being able to diminish your opponent's resources by having this card out and then attacking with 2600 is just really good. And this is a very good boss monster to a pretty decent archetype now. So Batteryman Industrial Strength. And the good thing is that it's searchable via 9V. Every single Batteryman monster is searchable via 9V, which gives this deck the edge, because you can just add this to your hand and you have this sitting in your hand, and when the time's right you can just drop it and it'll be devastating for your opponent. Next up, we're running 1 fuel cell. I would consider bumping this up to 2. I would definitely consider bumping up to 2, but I only have 1. So if you are looking at this deck profile, I would definitely consider running 2 or maybe even 3. This and this are the main OTK pushes, because you can special summon this card from your hand by just controlling 2 face-up Batteryman monsters. And its effect is that you contribute 1 Batteryman monster and accept this card to select 1 card your opponent controls and return it to your owner's hand. So this is just really good, the bouncing back effect. It's like Constellar play these in that sense. And 2100 attack isn't too shabby either, so definitely should be run at multiples. I would run this at 2 or 3 if I had the second one. Next up, 1 Batteryman Charger. This is good. You just tribute a Batteryman monster and you get special summon out any Batteryman monster from deck, so that's nice. And also again 300 attack and defense for each Thunder type monster you control, including itself. So minimum 2100 attack, maximum 3k attack, so it's pretty strong if you have like a field full of these. So this helps with OTKs as well, definitely. And then 1 Batteryman D. Just there's another target, and you can instant rank 1 with Microcell, and 1900 defense makes a pretty decent wall. Onto non-Batteryman monsters. Double Swift Scarecrow. Because if my opponent disrupts my plays, I find myself having an open field, so therefore this definitely does protect me from being OTK'd and allows me to survive that extra turn to go off next turn. So Swift Scarecrow puts in a lot of work and your opponent never sees it coming because it's in your hand, so this is just a really good card, and the surprise factor as well, it just really does help. And then for the best generic rank, best generic Thunder type monster in the game, Thunder King Ryo. And then 1 Honest, because everything you run in this deck is light. So those are all the monsters. Next up, we're running double summon. It's just a really good card. Like, you can normal summon Batteryman 9 volt and then activate this and normal summon out the monster you just searched off of Batteryman 9 volt. So double summon definitely does help, and it can actually help with OTKs as well. So double summon is definitely something to consider running in the deck. Next up, Forbidden Lance. This is mainly here to protect your Batteryman 9 volt, because that summon is crucial in helping you with your combos, because that extra search really does help and really does help you get the setup you need to go off. So Forbidden Lance should definitely be running. Its sole purpose is to protect 9 volt, and I guess you could protect your boss monsters as well. However, this is mainly here to protect 9 volt summon. Next up, Double Mystical Space Typhoon, back row removal, standard. And then I'm running a lot of 1-ofs in the form of 1 Dark Hole, staple, only 1 Short Circuit, simply because having 3 Batteryman monsters is not as easy as it sounds. However, it can be done. And another thing is that if you have 3 face-up Batteryman monsters on the field, you're going to be winning that game anyway. There's not really going to be a need for you to activate Short Circuit. However, in certain instances, I can understand why you would activate Short Circuit. This is just a really good card. You can run multiples. I don't mind. It's not desirable. I mean, if it was a way of searching this card, I would probably run more, but it's just there as a tech choice for now. You can definitely run multiples. 1 Book of Moon, a staple. 1 Light of Redemption is a bit of a wild tech card, because you can add back cards you banish via Batteryman Industrial Strength, and you find yourself a lot of banished cards. So having the ability just to add back a 9 volt to your hand and then summoning it and getting a +1 is just really good. So Light Redemption is something to definitely consider running in the deck. And then 1 Recycling Batteries as well, because recycling a 9 volt, adding it back to your hand. And the last one of spells, Foolish Burial, for putting your Batteryman AAA in your graveyard. It does help, because having it in the graveyard and having 1 in hand is instant rank 4, so Foolish Burial is good. And also you can put in targets for recycling batteries, or also for industrial strength as well in your graveyard. Next up, for the traps, I was previously running Trap Stun. However, Trap Stun doesn't negate Solemn Warning, and the Solemn Warning, if someone warnings your 9 volt, that really does hurt you, and it does hinder the amount of combos you can go off on. So Y tap's there instead of Trap Stun, because you can pretty much negate any trap card of this card, and also Black Horn and Warning are cards that you can't negate via Trap Stun, but Y tap definitely does that. And also, if your opponent activates Warning, then 6,000 life points, and it makes it easier for you to OTK, so Y tap definitely does help. Next up, Double Break for skill, Effect Negation, and 1 Phoenix Chain, to just standard effect negations. Break for skill is definitely the better card in my opinion. Next up, 1 Deep Prison, 1 Torrential, Bottomless, Compulse, and Solemn Warning. So that's the main deck, guys. 40 cards. On to the extra deck. I'm missing 5 cards in the extra deck. 1 Constellar Omega, 1 Constellar Ptolemy M7 for overlaying over your Omega, 1 X Tonight, 1 number 101 Silent on Arc, and also 1 Starlight Paladynamo, because pretty much all your rank 4 level 4 monsters are light, so you can go into all of those light attribute exclusive level 4 monsters, which are nice. For the rank 1s, 1 Slacker Magician and 1 Dullahan, because you can make them via Batteryman D and Batteryman Microcell. They're just options. For the 4s, Utopia, Cowboy, Heartland Draco, Black Ship, Kian Gorgon, Maystroke, Diamond Dyer, Roach, and then also the 101 Exciton, Omega, and also Ptolemy M7 and Paladynamo as well. So that's been the deck so far, guys. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It's Team Judgment here. Let us know your opinions on Batterymen as a deck and the potential they possess. So this is Team Judgment here, signing out. Bye.